Again, welcome to another episode of Football Friday with Rashad Mitchell. Let's look at the recap of what took place last week in the college football and National Football League. Let's get into that. Obviously, the main game last week was Georgia versus Alabama, where Georgia had a 42-game regular season winning streak, 28-game SEC winning streak, and a 16-game road winning streak, and they came up short 34-41, 41-34 as Alabama jumped up to 30-7 lead, but a furious comeback by Georgia gave them the lead 34-33 on a 67-yard touchdown pass from Carson Beck to Dylan Bell, and they gave them the lead, but it didn't last long because the following possession, Jalen Monroe threw a 75-yard touchdown pass to true freshman Ryan Williams to give them a 41-34 lead, including a two-point conversion from up for good. That was with 2:18 to go. So that was a classic game, instant classic. With that win, Alabama was number one. Also, you had an upset. Ole Miss upset University of Utah. Excuse me. Ole Miss upset. No, Ole Miss got upset by Kentucky 20-17. So the top 10 team went down, upset. Also, Utah got upset 23-10. So that's the storyline with that. All right, let's move forward to week 6. Right now you got Oregon. They beat Michigan State 21-0 in the third quarter. UNLV is beating Syracuse. UNLV ranked number 25 in the country, beating Syracuse 21-17. But Syracuse has the ball, third and goal at the UNLV 6-yard lines, trying to convert and try to go ahead. Wayne Minutes, interesting game. That's interesting between ranked opponents. Ranked opponent you gotta look at is number 9 Missouri at number 25 Texas A&M. That's the game to keep your eyes on for its ranked opponents. Obviously, anytime you have not that many great slated games, you may have some upsets. Rising possibly, but we'll see what happens. But that's the game to keep your eyes on. That's the game to keep your eyes on. Number 9 Missouri against number 25 Texas A&M. There's not many games, but could be upset alert. Maybe Washington may knock off Michigan. That's a rematch of last year's national championship game. Michigan, number 10 team in the country, against Washington. Keep your eyes on that possible upset. All right. My picks the week last week in college football. I was 3-2 overall in 29. The picks of the week in college football, 20-9. So let's look at how I did last week. Week number 5. Miami beat Virginia Tech. I was right about that game. Michigan over Minnesota. Louisville over Notre Dame. Ohio State over Michigan State. Georgia over Alabama. So it's 3-2, so I'm 20-9. So tomorrow's games I got Miami over California, Oregon over Michigan State, which they're playing right now. Missouri over Texas A&M, Georgia over Auburn, and Michigan over Washington. Those are my picks of the week. That's basically it for that, for the college football recap. Let's get to the NFL, National Football League from last week. Also go over the games, what you need to know for all these games are concerned. Do a recap briefly. But last week included the first half, the first quarter rather, of the NFL season, the first quarter. And it very bizarre, man. We would thought that Washington Commanders would be in first place, sole possession first place, with a 3-run record. And Minnesota Vikings have a 4-0 record in the NFC North. You know, Sam Darnold's playing at an MVP level, maybe the best quarterback in the NFL. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Still undefeated. You know, there's a lot of parity in the NFL. That's about what I see in the first quarter of the season. But those two teams stand out: the Washington Commanders, and Minnesota Vikings. Okay, the Giants lost last Thursday night to the Cowboys 20-15. Had a lot of surprises, man. Jets losing to the Broncos 10-9. The Eagles getting beat the way they lost to the Buccaneers, kind of surprising, 33-16. The Colts beating the Steelers 27-24. It was a big surprise. Even the Chiefs, the way they played, win 17-10, but not impressive. Was surprising that result. Ravens looked good, beating the Bills. This is why you get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was the workhorse, 24 carries, 199 yards, a touchdown run and a touchdown catch. So he's able to be great from scrimmage, catching the ball and running the ball. They even up at 2-2. Let's look at the standings so far in the NFL. You have not the main undefeated teams. We got Kansas City's undefeated. They're the only undefeated team in the AFC. Play on Monday night against the Saints. Then in the NFC you have Minnesota. They're undefeated. So we got 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL. Kansas City and Minnesota. But it's a lot of parity, man. It's a lot of, No teams running away with it, playing at a high level, so it's very mediocre right now. We look at this the landscape of the NFL. All right, let's get into it, man. What you need to know about these matchups this coming week. Yesterday, to start off week 5, the Buccaneers won 36-30 in overtime. Right, so let's go over the Buccaneers won over 10. No, the Falcons won 36-30 in overtime against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime. Kirk Cousins threw the game-winning over touchdown. Threw 509 yards to Cardarrelle Hodge. He won 36-30. All right, so let's get into the games. Keep your eyes on Jets and the Vikings. This game's going to be in London. It's an interesting matchup because this game's going to be at 9:30 on NFL Network. This game's interesting because Sam Darnold is facing his former team, the Jets, who drafted them number 3 overall in 2018. Maybe they have regret of not keeping them or letting them go and not keeping them. Anyway, Jets storyline to keep your eyes on is the pass protection against the blitz. It needs to be more sharper for the Jets offense to be able to function. They gave up 5 sacks last week, 14 quarterback hits. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback of the Jets, had a sore knee. So the Jets have spent this week drilling down on their blitz pickups and route adjustments because the Vikings do blitz heavy. And Rodgers obviously is familiar with the Vikings because he played with the Packers. He had 17 career wins against the Vikings. That's top for most against Minnesota. The Vikings, they're trying to go 5-0. What you keep your eyes on this game is how they handle play-to-play personnel. The Vikings defense with their play-to-play personnel substitutions, they will try to attempt with the Jets. Jets face that. Slight favorites, the chance to go 5-0. So, how the Jets offense looked in week 4 in New York is put up 9 points against Denver. And then looking compared to hell, they kind of play. Push down. Substitutes the Vikings defense attempts typically. So, 85 teams that have started 5-0 in the Super Bowl era, 71 of them have gone on to make the playoffs. The last team that didn't was the 2016 Vikings. That finished 8-8. So that knows that the Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson has had a touchdown reception in every game this season. The one on Sunday, he will join. He can join Randy Moss. 2004 is the only player in Vikings history had received a touchdown in each of the team's first 5 games. Panthers and the Bears, it's not a great game. The Bears got a chance to go 3-2 on the season. For the storyline with the Panthers, keep your eyes on the Panthers. They will add 2 new inside linebackers to the middle of the defense without Pro Bowl lineman Derek Brown out for the season with a knee injury. Safety Jordan Fuller, hamstring shot, Tuttle with the foot injury. Shaq Thompson, Achilles out for the season. Josie Jewell, he's out with a hamstring. That puts the more strong unit that's giving up 32.3 points a game. They rank 30th in sacks with 5, bottom of the league in pressures. So, with the game, that's fortunate. I think it's fortunate about the Panthers defense that they're facing a big quarterback, Caleb Williams, who had plays with an offense line that 29th in sacks allowed, 216. And the Carolina offense has put up 60 points in the past 2 games. So, see if Andy Dalton can do well against this Chicago Bears defense. The Bears storyline, keep your eyes on, is their running game against the 29th ranked Panthers defense. DeAndre Swift finally broke through in both running the ball with 93 yards last week and catching 7 passes for 72 yards. We'll look to do the same against Carolina defense that has allowed 149 yards rushing per game. But the Bears will have faced 3 of the 4 worst run defenses in the NFL, the Colts and the Rams, as they look for the 8th straight win at Soldier Field. So that knows that after averaging an NFL worst 176 yards per game with Bryce Young at quarterback, the Panthers are averaging the 5th most yards per game, 406 with Andy Dalton since he's been to the caller in the lineup. Ravens and the Bengals, an interesting game. what to look for with the Ravens is that the key to this game is going to be the Baltimore secondary and the wide receivers of Cincinnati. Your odds on that. And 4 wins over quarterback Joe Burrow, Baltimore has held the wide receivers of the Cincinnati Bengals to an average of 119.7. The Ravens' 3 losses to Burrow, Baltimore allowed the Bengals wide receivers to average 287.3 yards. For the Bengals, storyline keep your eyes on is the interior defensive lineman who was more adept at pass rush like Sheldon Rankins than run stopping DJ Reader. How they gonna stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who are in the top 4 in the league in rushing yards before first contact? Keep your eyes on that. It's that to know that the Baltimore secondary has allowed a league high 20 receptions of 20 plus yards. Obviously, Jamar Chase and Burrow, they're going to try to be in connection with each other, so we'll see what happens with that. This is a terrible game. Dolphins and the Patriots. I'm going to just skip that game. This game is terrible. Only thing I can say about this game for stats was concerned is that this contest will be a match between the 2 lowest scoring teams in the NFL. Miami's averaging 11.3 points per game and 13 points only being averaged by New England. Terrible game. The Browns and the Commanders, not a great game, but the Commanders have a chance to go 4-1 and remain in first place in the NFC East. The Browns' storyline is they continue to struggle on offense. Now they face the NFL's hottest offense, so see how this defense of Cleveland holds up. But they have struggled to bring players to the ground, allowing 2.24 yards after contact after rush, the worst mark in the league. The Commanders ranked 3rd in rushing yards per game, 169.3, and 6th in yards after contact for rush, 2.11. Now, the Commanders' storyline is that Washington's defense played his best game against Arizona, holding the Cardinals 115 yards of total passing yards, and sacked Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Cardinals, 4 times. So, Commanders remain bad, unfortunately, versus the run, allowing 5.3 yards per carry, ranking 31st in the NFL. So the Browns ranked 17th rushing the ball at 4.3 yards per carry. Staff knows that Commanders quarterback Jalen Daniels 4 rushing touchdowns on top of the most by a quarterback in his first 4 games in NFL history. Cam Newton in 2011, Anthony Richardson 2023 are the only quarterbacks 5 rushing touchdowns through 5 games since 1970. Colts and the Jaguars, not a great game, but for the Colts, their storyline is that they haven't won a road game against Jacksonville since 2014. And the last 9 meetings, including the 2016 Monday game for which the Jaguars were designated as the home team, the Colts were shut out twice and were outscored by an average of 16 points per game. Obviously for turnovers, due to that, Jacksonville has plus 15 margin in those games. For the Jaguars, they can't get a turnover. They still remain the only team that hasn't forced a turnover on defense this season. Makes it a dilemma against the Colts. Anthony Richardson injured his hip last week. He was limited in practice. He has thrown a league high 6 interceptions. So his running ability, his arm strength, potential of big plays makes him dangerous. But backup quarterback Joe Flacco isn't going to run around. He shredded the Jaguars last season to throw the Browns, throwing for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I know that the Colts' past 6 games have been decided by single digits. It's the second lowest active streak in the NFL. The Chiefs lead with 7. This is a very good one right here. Maybe the best game of the week in the NFL for week 5. Bills versus Texans, both teams 3-1. Storyline for the Bills that this Bills defense is going to have a lot of challenges because they don't have Von Miller. There's 4-game suspension. I think it's personal conduct detrimental to the team. I think it has something to do with that. Personal conduct, following personal conduct policy. But as I continue on, keep your eyes on that. So middle linebacker Terrell Bernard has a good chance to make it back to the field. After missed 2 games with a pectoral injury, Buffalo will likely see rookie safety Cole Bishop against first Taylor Rapp is in concussion protocol. But rookie Javon Solomon will see more of a role in the line with Miller out. That'll be a tough task against C.J. Stroud, throwing 7 touchdown passes to Joe interception in his past 5 home games. But the storyline for the Texans that D'Amico Ryans, coaches of the Texans, said that the Lions are fired up for this matchup. But he said his club won't lean into the storyline up to the AFC contenders. The Bills have the third highest point differential in NFL plus 39, while minus 15 for the Texans at 24th. Showing the Bills have been more complete through 4 weeks. The Texans have 3 wins. Each win was secured last minute after they played sloppy throughout. Set knows that if Josh Allen doesn't throw an interception, be the longest streak by a quarterback, by Buffalo Bills quarterback to start season franchise history. They get to the 4-25 games in the nightcapper. Raiders and the Broncos, 2-2 teams. So line for the Raiders is Vontae Adams. Look like he's going to be out on a trade. He's in with a hamstring injury. See what happens with that. Broncos storyline is this is the first division matchup of the season against the Raiders team they haven't beaten since 2019. Denver has a lot to figure out offensively. If they wants to avoid a next straight loss to an AFC West team that scored all 4 touchdowns this season. Rookie Will Nix had just 2 pass completions, gaining 30 plus yards. So keep your eyes on Nix throwing the ball and push down the field with consistency. The problem is Denver's passing game, and then you got to deal with Max Crosby, the edge rusher of the Raiders, who has 13.5 sacks over the past 10 games. It's the Broncos. Set knows that the Raiders are seeking to win back-to-back road wins for the first time since weeks 11 and 12. In 2022, they won in Baltimore in week 2. Cardinals and the 49ers at 4-5. Still a lot to watch with his scoring 88 points in their first 3 games. The winning coming within a touchdown. The Cardinals didn't play so well last week. They're going to try everything in the play to get them back on track against the 49ers, but so it's the rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. being more involved in the offense in the first quarter, making sure the quarterback runs more than one time for 3 yards. Storyline for the 49ers that many odds will be on 2 quarterbacks, but the Niners are to win their first straight against Arizona. Boy, probably 0-2 in division for the first time. Since 2021, they will have to rely on Jordan Mason to do low. Mason is second in NFL in rushing yards, 447. He faces the Cardinals run defense that has allowed a league high 8 touchdown runs. And the lowest run rate in the NFL is 26.5%. It's 27th in the run defense. Success rate is 52.1. James Conner, the running back of the Cardinals, gets a favorable matchup as league's 12th leading rusher goes against the Niners defense. It's 24th in success rate, 55.8% against the run. Set knows the Cardinals are 3-13 in their past 16 road games. Dating back 2 weeks since 2022, they're tied with the second road record over that. Packers and the Rams. That storyline for the Packers is Matt LaFleur, the coach of the Packers, that struggled against former boss Kyle Shanahan, going 2-4 against his 49ers. Now it's been the exact opposite for LaFleur against his former boss Sean McVay of the Rams. LaFleur, who was McVay's offensive coordinator with the Rams in 2017, worked with McVay in Washington from 2010 to 2013, has never lost to McVay in head-to-head meetings, which is 4 of them in the playoffs. The storyline for the Rams is the defense, man. Ranked 31st in line of most yards per play, 6.4, the second most yards per game, 385.3, the second most points per game, 28.8 in the NFL. So the Rams defense got to be shored up, but it won't get any easier as the Packers ranked 3rd in offensive DVOA and total yards per game, 410. So the Rams defense is going to be challenged. They've been bad all year, 31st in the defense. Kyron Williams, Kyron Williams has had a rushing touchdown in 7 consecutive games dating back to last season. He's tied with Johnny Drake in 1939 for the second longest streak, and Rams history Greg Bell 10 straight from 1988 to 1999. Giants and the Seahawks, not a great game. The storyline of this game is Jalen Hyatt, the wide receiver of the Giants, has 3 targets and no catch in the first 4 weeks. It's time for him to step up. As Malik Neighbors dealing with a concussion, he may not be playing this Sunday. He has averaged 13 targets per game, So they should be playing for higher to make an impact. It won't be easy against the defense of the Seahawks that has allowed just 9 receptions of 21 yards this season. Storyline for the Seahawks is the defense performance that they had on Monday night against the Lions, giving up 42 points. How do they respond? That's what it's about. So that knows that the Seahawks are tied for the fourth most sacks in the NFL with 14. They recorded Seattle defensively at least 3 sacks in each of the past 3 games. Then you got the nightcap of the Cowboys and the Steelers. But look out for the Cowboys, they're going to be out without their 2 best defensive players. Michael Parsons with ankle injury and DeMarcus Lawrence with a foot injury, facing the 10th best rushing offense. Can they show consistency against a still offense that's averaging 34.5 rushing attempts per game, despite averaging just 3.7 yards per game? Also, the Cowboys are 27th in run defense, but gave up just 26 rushing yards last week. So now the edge rushers look for the Cowboys they're going to contain Justin Fields as a running thrower. Storyline for the Steelers is their defense. They were uncharacteristic. They allowed 27 points, giving up 53% on third down. Season high, they used big plays to put the Steelers on their heels. So the Cowboys will be without Brandon Cooks, them 2 wide receivers, because of knee infection. Have just 15 total passes, over 20 yards on carries, over 10 yards, making it the second lowest total in the league. So that knows that Cowboys are averaging a league low 75.3 rushing yards per game. That's the first worst mark in franchise history through the first 4 games. Then you got the Monday night capper finally at 8:15, solid game. The Saints again at the Kansas City Chiefs are 4-0. So now for the Saints tight ends of the Saints, didn't practice Thursday with a separate rear and chest injuries. He had 7 quarters that was missed of the season. But again, against the Eagles due to injuries. So the Saints run game appears to be significantly impacted with him not being a lineup, Jason and Taysom Hill. But when Hill was on the field against the Falcons, the Saints averaged 6.1 yards per game compared to 2.6 yards per rush without him. So line for the Chiefs that the Saints lead the NFL in scoring at almost 32 points per game. Chiefs have held other opponents in the top 10 in scoring rates, and the Bengals below their season averages. So the Chiefs, for that matter, held their other 2 points, Falcons and Chargers, below theirs as well. So that knows that Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes for 3 QBR is currently 17th in the NFL. This is the first season he has posted a QBR under 75 during the 4 opening games. All right, so that's it. Get to my picks of the week. I was 1-4 last week. Didn't do pretty well. One game I got right was the Steelers. And the Steelers, the Patriots, and the 49ers. I picked the 49ers to win last week. 49ers over Patriots. I was wrong with the Giants over Cowboys. Eagles over Buccaneers. Jets over Broncos. Steelers over Colts. But I was right with 49ers and Patriots. So I was 1-4 last week. So my record is 11-9. So let's fast forward. Got the Vikings over the Jets in London. Ravens over the Bengals. They continue to play well. They'll go over 500. Texas over the Bills. This is a big game. Stephon Diggs going against his former team. That's a big storyline. 49ers over Cardinals and Commanders over Browns. All right, so that's it for the show for tonight. Football Friday with Rashad Mitchell. Be back next Friday to do this show on my YouTube channel, Football Friday with Rashad Mitchell. Until then, talk to you soon.